my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack.
All right, Coach, it's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Second and 5. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 33. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And room there to work it inside the 25. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 24. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
First down,
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. That'll bring up second down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Every day, any day. Watch twins. Watch twins.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Check, ready. Hey, come on. Watch the screen.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Oh, Cohen lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded at the 6. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for Browns TD. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. Oh, spinning away. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Watch the whip.
They're going to look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target. Deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
He finds Beckham, complete.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 47-yard line.
Check, 59. Ricky.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
5-yard
Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Nothing too fancy there, a simple toss left, but for whatever reason, the defense, they didn't seem ready for it.
Let me continue on with your thought right there, because after the play was over, I kept my eyes on the defenders. Watch them get off the ground, going back to the huddle, shaking their heads and kind of pointing to each other like, what just happened there? I think you were onto something.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Back to throw. Fields. And this one complete to Will Fuller. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
2nd and 6. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, Fields. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter. But you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's 2nd and 8. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he loses the football a second time. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are. And now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue.
There he goes, left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Tariq Cohen, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is, his first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And
that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Browns. 53 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That good for 19 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Let's go, baby. Turn over. Get that ball. Get that ball.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Check, 59.
2nd and 3. That is caught by Cohen. And he loses the football a second time. And this is picked up by the Browns. Fighting his way through contact. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried to.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Melvin Gordon. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. By the way, sometimes you'll hear toss and pitch used interchangeably, but that was the toss.
Well, for me, a toss, quarterback takes the snap, turns around, tosses it to
like
the tailback.
Like an egg underhand.
Yeah, like an egg underhand, really with 2 hands. And a pitch, usually like you're running an option-type play, and you pitch it out there to the trailing back.
Goes end over end like a field goal.
Yeah, where you turn it over, make sure that thumb turns down, and the ball flips end over end slowly and delicately to your running back.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and...
And that's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. It's a first down and more for Gordon. A big play there just before halftime. 57 yards on the ground. So all of a sudden with that run, maybe now a chance for points here.
It's a total mind shift, isn't it? Because what you were saying before was, hey, let's just get out of here and get the half over with. Instead, we can get some points now.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. To throw on second down. Fields being chased out left. He'll run it. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Here we go, D. All day, D. All day. Mike 56. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. 56. Check 56.
Operating from the gun. Fields to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. It's caught. Beckham. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Steelers.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Go full strength. Let's go, hey. Go Mike 34, Mike 34. I'm coming. Hey, check Mike 30.
He'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Intended for Tariq Cohen. Incomplete. It's second down and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check.
2nd and 10. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go, fellas.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed
Super toe.
Ready. Go to base. Month 56. Gotta do better. Come on, QB. Come on. Shift. Wahoo. Mike 56. Mike 56. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go.
On first down, Fields. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
The line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Here we go. Set. Set the ending. I'm scared. Hey, switch gears.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And he will find Davis. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Corey Davis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Browns 41, Steelers 12.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
A good pickup there at 22. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 30-yard line. Now back to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Fields. He's left, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Will Fuller, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Next to score, Browns 48, Steelers 12.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Back to throw here. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll look to throw here. Flushed out right. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to get a score back. Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for two. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the two-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And an alley to run. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone. And
don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. They'll try to run this one in. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Browns' drive about to get started. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Will Fuller, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. Saying, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Hey, pick your game up.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. And he missed it again. The 4th time now in this game alone, and that has to be great cause for concern over on that sideline. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Fields eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. He's got a man. Complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Gay is up and good. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the 4th down in New Orleans. And the Falcons sort of opening things up there. A win would be their first of the young season. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's all...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
At the 30-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
A gain of 21 yards.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They're going to look to throw. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense, it's going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Ball going deep here for Taylor. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. So with a big gainer anyways, they'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down at the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
Operating from the gun, Fields. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Now a desperation throw into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Let's go. Interception. All day, baby. Let's get this.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch 'cause you want to. You never came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit. I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating 'cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous? They act like they made us. You know I'm icy in Vegas. This for the haters. I make a lot of money. When the not saving. Yeah, be liking my flavor. I think it's cause ice on the wrist. On the wrist. On the wrist. Watch out for that. Another switch. Another switch. Another switch. Ice on the wrist. Ice on the wrist. Ice on the wrist. Ice on the wrist. Ice on the wrist.
I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex slick, then